agree, Soulcast has a lot to deliver on, and this is an incredibly hard situation. You're desperate for a pick. That's what you're after. You're really wanting something on your side, but you've got Util still there with Patitech investing it from the Teo. Soulcast at least going to get the plant and the time on his side. But the challenge now coming through, Soulcast has to isolate. Beautiful! Takes away Serial. Anyone else fancies to go, oh, one by one they tried! But Nats, the full stop to the sentence, denies that going any further wrong. But there was pressure on that side, Mini. There was a back and forth.
Beautiful from Soulcast, unfortunate at the end. It seemed like Koi this time overcompensated a little bit, but it was off of the back of that Team Liquid getting that deadlock orb and getting that ult, playing for that ult. They're very good. This is what Team Liquid are good at. I think to contrast with Koi, I think the ult usage from Koi can be a little bit rough at times, but on Team Liquid side, they know when to collect these orbs, they know how to play with the subs, playing a bit weaker towards C in this mid round, but having that deadlock ult to retake and flood in.
Okay, so if you are just tuning in, it is 4-0 in favor to Team Liquid. We know the UI is in the current state, so we're going minimal here. It's like you're in the game. Where, if anything, we're just immersive here in EMEA. Yeah, it's like you're back in the scrims, you know? Rolling back the years now. But obviously for Koi, economy now is going to be up against it. I'm sure if you do want to know the full economy, Sliggy did say live he was going to be writing out the exact figures on the screen, so do make sure you check that out. I don't think he needs
to write it out. I think it's all in his head.
It would be nice for the people.
Every player.
It'd be nice for the people, obviously, and the ult orbs as well collected. So huge shout out to you there, Sliggy. Make sure you keep.
I'm going to get a stream up actually, just
as you should. Yeah. You'd need that info too. For now, for Koi, it's looking for opportunities, maybe getting a bit of a read of how this game's looking. A little bit of a spot coming through.
A lot of
Nothing much gained here, but yes, it is space more than anything.
And just having that Viper pressure towards the A side has weakened C up, but Team Liquid seem more than happy to give up the space on C every single time so far.
Yeah, and I kind of like the tempo of that pre-take almost that we've seen from them as well, kind of toying with how they want to approach it. This is a different look for Koi though, starting their walk through towards Waterfall. Plant being tested, but no one challenging from Waterfall. This time a higher focus through from CT. So sadly for Koi, a little bit of a, I don't want to say a misread, but I like what they've done to try and take some space, be proactive in the post-farm, but away we go. Liquid now back towards the side. What do they have to deny it? The pressure from Waterfall has to be there. Flyer doing well, but it is Liquid cleaning up. Just one really remaining, and you look at the spacing here. Grabino, you've got Kiko just holding it basically, and that's what he's going to do. So another round on the board for Team Liquid. They will be up to 5.
And you can see how paranoid Koi are about that Waterfall spam now, to the point where they're just sending 4 players to go deal with it. Unfortunately for them, nobody there this time. Nats is repositioned. But nice to see some of that thinking in those, you know, a lower economy round. They have to take some risk.
Certainly do. And then I need to see, I assume this is a round we're going to see a little bit more of a fight back from Koi, hopefully. They've learned their lessons throughout these early rounds. Do they have what it takes to get even past Rubble? We've been seeing that Liquid are solid at holding this.
It's interesting they group up with 3 Koi outside Rubble, because it seems like if they get pressured, they usually run away. This time, Grabino's thinking about it, but out quite quickly. And again, Team Liquid with the heavy mount setup again, leaving that trip deep on the mount side. There's layers to this Team Liquid. Like they're both sides of the map right now. You can see leaving Sentinel util deep. If Koi aren't going to go through the process of getting all this out, they could be running into a stack very easily.
It feels like they could be running into a stack every single time. Already gathered up as 3 here for Team Liquid, kind of bring themselves back towards this B side, still having a decent amount of faith in the deadlock utility and the presence on A. And just that cam on the C side, that seems to be enough to keep them there. And again, we've seen it. Happy on the retakes, happy to kind of work back in. Haven't felt too much pressure from it. And a stall of an ult coming in, buying time for rotation. Not going to catch anyone, but it has cost them a couple of seconds. And I'm looking at, I think his Kiko's down very low here actually already. Down very, very low. Speaking of low, Filu as well. HP dwindling, a little bit of a battle breaks out. This time they're willing to challenge on the C side, feeling there was enough stall. Not on top, but a beautiful shot from Filu. Going back for a bit more. Koi actually having a bit of battle on this. Kiko's battered and bruised at the start of this round. Flyer on the flank. We are seeing a better look here from Koi. Kiko gonna have to try and do this. I don't think it's gonna be happening. That's the first for Koi here at 5-1.
Yeah, and as I started speaking about getting rid of that Sentinel util, immediately you saw Koi get rid of both. Team Liquid reacted with some kind of B pressure, but Koi handled it well, attacking that C site with composure.
enemy remaining.
Nice to see that lurk as well coming into play. A
Yep.
couple of layers being shown here. Solution being found, at least in that essence of how they want to approach maybe that C site now. They've got a little bit of a rhythm in their mind, but I don't think they'll be able to get away with it. First real challenge. Oh, hey, we got the HUD back. Don't know for how long. Sorry to put you out of work, Sliggy. Back to your usual business. You can react after the round. Mini's got this one.
It seems like to me, Koi keep grouping outside of A in case Team Liquid don't take rebel control, but Liquid are doing it every single round. So it seems like almost a waste of time to leave those players there for the start of the round. I'd rather just go else on the map and come back to A, which is what they're doing now. So Koi having a good read here that they can re-clear A.
But I do still like that Liquid have explored over towards kind of B main. They've already pushed out towards Mound. They should have a good understanding of this, maybe still considering it could be a pivot towards that B site, playing out of Blue Room, kind of keeping bodies around that. And just leaving that waylay in the hands of Camo to be locking down towards A, or at least one of the approaches, but this pathing through tree, it's allowing them to get pretty close here.
Oh.
Okay, well, that's Camo gone. Philo again using this to secure space. Wondering if it will find a player. Oh, Patsek could be in trouble here. Yeah, he is. Caught off guard. Beautifully done by Koi. Applying it in the right way and securing this post plant now with solid number advantage. Still have Soulcast's ult as well. Nats and Kiko joined by Serial. Now losing out. Nats have a world of trouble ahead of them, and Serial can't do much about it really. Koi starting to find a rhythm that works for them. Kiko, 1v4 is a lot to ask for here. You'd need a couple mistakes from Koi, which I hope they're not going to be making. Nice shot, but timing is starting to really run low, and the others can play to that time.
Should just be a save here. Liquid's economy is not good enough here for him to go for more, and the damage isn't worth it right now. I like this approach from Koi though, using the tree side. I was talking to you about this just before. Like teams have started re-clearing out of Blue Room, is what you called it? Hobbit for me, you know?
Yep.
Blue Room. And so teams are avoiding that re-clear, especially with the Waylay. The Waylay can refract and kind of go out and kind of re-clear. Teams are starting to use the tree a lot more on the attack. Completely avoiding Camo there.
We've seen the impact already on the finances. Decent enough. Kiko, the one with the Vandal remaining. Everyone else down to Sheriffs and just a Ghost for Nats. Now we have to see that answer back from Liquid. A couple of rounds in succession here for Koi. A couple of ults coming up. Audio, a couple of seconds behind. All good. And it looks like they want to try and utilize that Vandal, kind of, I guess, player forward.
Yeah, they're almost baiting Crash on B, but they're baiting Koi to destroy that wall, and then Kiko is going to peek behind. But Koi having another bit straight into the B site.
Bilu, yeah, nice. Nice so far. Not afraid of the challenge. Camo with a quick reminder, but Koi putting bodies behind it. This is solid. This is the big gun, and this boy's got some space. Kiko, got to be kicked. Oh! I thought there was a chance on that, but Gravino really catching it back in hand, and that's going to be a formality. Well done to Koi here. I feel like Mini, we're very critical of them when things aren't going right, obviously, and fairly so. I think we've been asking a lot more of them.
Yep.
The last couple of rounds, we've started to see some of that hit home, it feels like.
Yeah, they're listening for this rubble control, seeing what's happening. If the rubble control happens, they're getting out of there, moving away. And when they feel that rubble isn't being pressured enough, they'll explore that area. So, very simple Lotus gameplay, but some of the teams in EMEA right now aren't doing that, and Koi are.
Let's choke them. Where are
Again, let's see how this unfolds. It's going to be those early tells we're looking for.
Yeah, Liquid are now switched. I'm surprised that with Koi hearing the lack of rubble control this round, that they're not exploring it. Because Team Liquid have swapped to a more traditional Sentinels towards the C side of the map approach.
It's quite the vast amount of utility in the way, so it's going to be, if they go late, it's going to be rough there. But they've already cleared the util towards B, which is pretty valuable. Gives them a pivot option later on if they do want to explore either through door or straight through main. They have that there. And even maybe a look back towards A main.
I think Team Liquid are trapping now. Yeah, you see, the Waylay's got the ult ready. If there's any trigger at all for Team Liquid, the ult's going to come out, and we're going to see Salvos, we're going to see maybe a Paranoia, and we're going to see a big fight towards Rubble now.
As Koi maybe expected, it feels quiet here almost, right? A little too quiet. No challenge on this, just the Prowler. and nothing else behind it.
I believe I've seen Team Liquid do this before, so it wouldn't surprise me if Koi feel this is happening from the preparation and know that C should be the place to go right now.
They've got the right read, but there are bodies here. Serial and Nats both waiting, so this won't be easy. Philo is going to be hindered from the way in, but he keeps his life. It's Flyer to find Serial. Nats on the trade out. Already captured there, going to be keeping one with him. Beautifully done by Nats, composed as they did try and flood towards the site. Oh, the cross is being dominated. Nats in control here, and time being a factor. It is a 3v2. Soulcast and Grabina trying to work this one out. The ult going to be utilized as well at some point here. Nats again, just powering forward. Very well handled, almost funneling Koi around the map.
Yeah, I said that C should have been the site they go, but at the same time there's a Deadlock and a Cypher, and Deadlock's got an ult. We saw Serial use the wall to delay, and then it was able to get a nice little Deadlock ult off. Without that wall, maybe there isn't like as much of a funnel. But yeah, textbook Nats Sentinel hold.
It's lovely to see that from Liquid, though, because it did feel that Koi were really trying to test the waters wherever they went, getting quite a nice read, but those traps being prevalent wherever they went. As you said, there was that reactive play that could come in on towards that rubble side if there was commitment behind it. Here again, early control does, of course, go to Liquid on this, but it could be re-explored. But speaking of explored, Philo, once again, having a glance towards B. We can see what's on the other side. 3 players there.
Again, Koi should feel that Rubble's quite weak again. They've thrown that early Fade Eye and it's seen nothing. So I think Flyu can call people back to explore.
I do quite like this back towards middle. It's coming this way, doesn't it, Camo? There's a little presence, but slips back towards the site, but you can already hear the util being invested. This then, once again, forces the hand through towards Tree. We were happy to do this before.
Yeah, the problem this time is Flyu has Viper ult. So if Team Liquid aren't quick here to try and deny the A side of the map, and Koi are quick enough here to get that Viper ult down, it's going to be a very difficult situation for Liquid to deal with.
It is only him so far. Camo, gotta be cautious. Falls away towards top site, gives up the site. Philo go walkabouts. This is a lot. That's 3 players. Reward is there. Nice follow-up as well. Controls the space and the Viper ult in play as well. Here comes those lurks. Yeah, last time around we saw it being Flyer. Soulcast looking for his timing. Don't know if he's going to get it because you can see this. Nats outdoes him. Late to the party, but fashionably late. Oh, Kiko! That's outrageous to find that in the dark. Flyer going to be kicking himself a little for that one, to be called out by the spam, but it's Shados now in a 1v3. No util to bank on. Does well. Does so well. If only he'd kept the gun in hand, if anything. The time's there for Nats. Liquid again, yes, pressured, but out on top at a 7-3 scoreline.
Yeah, I think that's a VOD review round for Koi. The Viper ult in post plant, I wouldn't feel happy losing that. The spam through was unfortunate, though.
Sure.
That was ridiculous. But Flyu should be safe.
Tucked in, safe away. Yeah, let the others kind of take there. There it was. Oh, that is going to be a real bitter one.
Oh my god, I killed 3 people in the smoke.
Yeah, it is quite wild. And hey, look, I don't want to say critiquing, but we were keeping our eyes towards the ult usage. Feeling very close to getting it back now as well.
Is that 3 ults now he's had?
I think so, yeah. I think this is the third back on. He's done well. The first 2 had worked wonderfully. Camo with the operator, that's something new. This controls the line forward, makes it very difficult for Philo to work up here. Gonna be forced off the angle by the Prowler. Hold on, pressure! We were complimenting these ults, and that's why. Philo does it well. Takes the space away, but Camo gets it back. Plays it from Blue Room as Kiko. Rewarded on the angle as well. Overwhelmed in the end, but they've got control until then. Tipped away by Serial falling. The sight is not theirs. Nat's trying to thread the needle on the timing, but Camo barely alive. Been caught by the ult as well. They had to fall off from this. Really, what option does he have here? Operator on a retake. Just doesn't feel good.
No, and the economy's low. I don't mind if Camo's going to look for one. It looks like if he gets it, he'll commit, but should be saving if he gets nothing.
Yeah, there it is. I mean, Soulcast were going to deny it, and it felt like Liquid for a good amount of time there actually had the benefit of the trades coming in. This was a great opener, but the fight back was great here. And again, the double in from that Blue Room, beautiful, but well controlled by Koi. They keep it up in this game. 4 rounds for them now. This is when it tipped over.
Yeah, Soulcast, I think, was the one.
Yeah.
There we go.
Very influential. Nice for
I
him.
like the call from Koi. It seems like Team Liquid have done a lot of re-clearing of that B space, and knowing that, you know, numbers might be there, and Philo could get that ult off potentially. Another janky buy for Team Liquid, forcing up as much as they can on this final round. Nice little B exploration.
They've been proactive, but they've never gone this far.
Strange, they have a good read that the Killjoy turret isn't there.
He plays behind. Nats needs to try and play his life. Gore, I don't know if he's getting... He is alive. That is quite surprising because Koi, well, they're knocking at the door here. Soulcast, a challenge on his hands, though. Paranoia, going to force him. Oh! There's the Scrim Soulcast coming out to play. Camo, backhanded. And now Pattek becomes the kind of, I guess, big guy with the Guardian to play in, but Kiko is going to at least be able to pick up that Vandal, but they don't have that same access point, but they also don't have a plant yet.
Yeah, Koi have the gun advantage, but they feel very isolated right now.
That doesn't feel favorable. What a shot!
Throwing
Belting shot towards Filu. Now they can be a little bit divided on this. It gets tricky. Grubino now pressured, but he comes out on top. This is the tipping point. The scales firmly in hand of Koi, who navigate the threats. They keep their composure and get up to a 7-5 score.
Yeah, I think after how good Team Liquid came out of the gates here, I think Koi will be not over the moon with this, but happy.
We take what we get, and we are going to be going into a normal break, so we'll see you after this.
Friday night putting them plays in, but it feel like a special occasion. So let's go out, go blazing, hit the dance floor, let go frustrations. I might have a hidden agenda, but my intention's pure. I'll give you all that I got, and I hope that you don't need more. It's okay, just take my hand now. Damn near sweating your hair out. You got me creasing my sneakers. That's usually something I care about. Couldn't see the path, but it's clear now. You was in my dreams, but you here now. And I just want a little dance and a reason to change my plans. All I want is for you to dance with me, with your hands in the air where I can see. I don't know if we'll get another chance, you'll see. So I hope that you'll just come dance with me. We outside, did you hear what? I called the ride cause I'm going up, and there's something mixy going in my cup. Don't say much cause they know it's
It was a great start for Liquid. 5 rounds looking solid, looking strong, but Mini, there's a fight back here for Koi. They've found whatever they needed, and they've strung together 5 rounds, and in good fashion. It didn't feel like it was just quirky or, you know, out of the blue. It felt solid 1 rounds. Going forward, though, does it still apply on the other half?
Well, Koi are usually much weaker on their attack sides. So I think this is where they should be a bit better. It's Lotus, so it's always hard to say that they should be better on defense. But starting this game off with 5 rounds on attack is a lot better than they usually do.
True.
So for me, they're in an okay spot.
Right, so very similar early investment here for the pistol. Ghosts all around, barring Zero with the light shield, obviously, and then on the other side of things, Rubino. And that's about that. We dive in, and so does Camo. Decides to get out of there, though.
Full kit used already.
1 minute 28, by the way.
But enough information for maybe Team Liquid to start accelerating towards the C side of the map.
That's pretty telling as well. You've just seen some real committed
I mean, the
utility.
paranoia should be enough to, you know,
Oh, Soulcast had to
speed
be
things up.
quick. Yeah, had to get out of there. But it looks like Liquid are aware of that waterfall position that was the bane of Koi's existence initially.
I'm interested to see how they deal with it.
Wow, they swing.
You can see.
Night and day, isn't it? Totally different in approach. It's going to put Koi on the back foot for a second. They have to kind of reconvene and gather themselves back up to take this space back.
Yeah, Waylay Lurk, not something I've seen before.
No.
Turret will spot though.
Yeah, it should do, but maybe in all the mayhem it could go not unnoticed, but unconsidered. Pattek certainly wants his name in the in the ring of things. It is just going to be really Grubino and Philo to fight back, and sadly for Shados, he is locked out of here. Still got to go on this. Woo! Panatek, you are a brave boy here. Oh, switching up to the one bullet in the Ghost is brutal. And now into the post plant, what are you meant to do? You've got Panatek's position, he's got his util back online here. Didn't need it, as Nats will be there to secure the first in the second for Team Liquid.
Yeah, I've really got to praise Team Liquid's pre-plant and post-plant understanding there. In the pre-plant, making sure that Waterfall is covered, making sure the spike's going down. And in that post, we saw them call like a 3-2-1 fight. And you can see them all just going through smokes together and isolating out Boy.
Good job, boys. Nice direction. Very good. Keep up the communication. Nice, Patrick.
I presume Patrick might have called that. Is it Patrick? Is that Patty Tech's name?
I believe so. I've really just taken a guess on that one.
I'll guess that too.
Yeah. Ooh, camo. It looks ridiculous. Rewinds back. Takes away Grubino. I mean, this is classics, right? So you're looking at them farming up here. You're looking at, hopefully, for the Liquid side, not losing any of these weapons. They're trying to be disruptive. I like it, but Camo again, still doing well here. This is nice for him. Confidence builders.
Yeah, I like this use of the Wailers. It's a little bit like when we see Chambers on attack. They can just run out immediately, kill my teammates, and then get out. Sorry,
Not
I got
you.
PTSD. I got
Not
PTSD
you.
from games. It's fine.
Have you been playing games?
No. My team lost to Chamber. Anyway, so yeah, the Waylay is just able to do something that, you know, you don't love having to use big parts of your kit early into rounds, but it's a look that they can have in some of these rounds.
It's good to set that expectation early as well. It's something that's going to be obviously conditioned into them. Whether or not they do it again, who knows? For now, Boy looking to try and be a little slippery, but Kiko, apparently this man and Smoke get on real well. Kiko's just been finding people through smokes, no sweats. Oh, Cass, lovely. No more to be had, but as it stands, just Shados here. Really, options looking quite dire.
Yeah, he's looking for that cheeky one.
Do you reckon he gets it?
No. Wasn't even nervous.
No, you got to get not even a little bit. I was nervous when Hannah Montana started to get mentioned on the broadcast. But Dora the Explorer, Hannah Montana, really going through it. Okay, bonus.
Camo again, I didn't realize he's 16 for 9.
He's farming.
Maybe, like, absolutely, right now, the best Waylay player, I think, in EMEA.
I'm 100% in agreement. Camo's been having a belting performance. Last time he was here as well, 23 kills. So it's not like it's a one-off. He's shown some real diligence. Obviously, we see in other regions a couple other players looking fantastic on it. I think Jorgamo being mentioned earlier on.
Yep.
Can't help but enjoy that. But Camo showing some real versatility, yeah, and commitment. It's stunning. Shados was just set up to fail, it felt like. Really, that paranoia, perfect, everything good. And another brawl breaks out. It's Camo still fighting the good fight. Grubino, that felt a little too far cooked, but this is the bonus. They're willing to brawl out like this. That feels desperate to me. Oh. Well. Don't think this is going to go. Oh, Nats is going back. Nats, I don't know if we needed to go that far.
Uncharacteristic.
Yeah, that was a very un-Nats thing to do.
Yep.
But, I mean, with Panatek's reposition, it is a very hard round for Soulcast to do much about. I think he's off ski.
Accepting fate here.
Yeah, he's out of there. I mean, look, that was a bonus round. Maybe you can take a couple extra risks if you're Nats or whomever else, but I'm surprised that Koi was so willing to be so brawly in that, so risky. I don't mind the fight back, but it feels like you're taking kind of coin flip fights, which is a lot to ask for in these sort of rounds.
They read the round well. They sent 4A, and if you can't win a 4A round when the other team goes rubble, like, I mean, if I was to run it back, I'd be happy for Koi to run back a 4A, making the read correctly. The refight, the initial, they got caught out by the initial deeper dive by the Waylay, and then the refight didn't look pretty, but
This is it in motion.
nice pick.
Really lovely.
That's one of the things. Team Liquid haven't shown their attack side on this map because they beat Foot 13-1. So they don't know these micro things, these micro angles. Like when I said earlier that they'd be on the server practicing these rubble fights, you can't practice it because you have no idea how Team Liquid are going to take it. Maybe you can formulate some kind of idea.
Craft, but yeah.
But if you were to say round 1 is going to be dash on top of rubble, you're probably going to be like, don't think so.
Surely not. Well, for Koi, It is timeout time. This has been a bit of a rough start because, again, the 7-5 half always feels very competitive, feels solid, and it feels like that gets broken in half if you get those first three. Converting the that bonus conversion, they are really building up some bank for Liquid, and for Camo, got to be confident starting to come in as well.
Yeah, I mean, I hope he ummed it a little bit that Koi should be happy, but ultimately it's defense side of Lotus, and this map is a map where attack side is going to be where you're putting up most of the numbers.
Yeah, let's see. Koi, let's see what you've done in this timeout. All eyes on you here. Maybe not even for this round, but the one to follow. I need to be reminded why this was your choice. This is their choice of map here to kick off on Lotus. Really, the only one to do damage in this one would be Philo. You've got Ghosts to supplement, a little bit of util here and there.
Yeah, still the outlook for Nats too. Can be a field day for him too.
Farming. Let's see. Liquid, very direct in approach, not really mincing their words.
Yeah, made the read again.
Again, it must be nice to have someone like Nats just being on these calls. It just feels like he has like a cheat in the game. It's wild. Just such good reads on the opponents.
Reads with his lurks and now reads as an IGL.
Camo bonking head up against the window. Whoever made that noise, absolutely trolling. Camo though, trying to be towards the forefront here, still util. Yeah, again, you don't even need to look at just one. It's so many. Patatek there with a little bit more stall. You've still got the Deadlock util to layer in, the Paranoia to try and set this in motion. Kiko, Patatek making light work of all of them pretty much. Yeah, Shados gets one. Consolation prize at this point. Beautifully handled. Liquid simplistic in approach, and they don't need to do more than that.
No, direct approach, but again, open sight.
Yep.
Easy for them. Koi did what they could with the retake, but too much util from Team Liquid. They didn't have to use too much util to take that site. Have it all for the post plan.
One enemy remaining.
Felix does have the Raze ult back on.
Yep. So they were good on attack.
Certainly were. And this would be hopefully what that timeout was for. To get them locked in for this. This is now 4 on the bounce for Liquid though.
What a
Momentum
jerk
starting to
face.
build, and they have Patatek's ult. Hopefully not going to pull a governor. That was hard. Dilu up for the fight. He loses, and they lose a big piece of the puzzle there. Would have liked to seen that maybe utilized in a different way, but early damage done. Soulcast clean with it. Patatek and Serial go down, and the B-side gets controlled. Grubino re-establishing presence over towards Rubble. Every fight going their way.
Yeah, it was a nice, it was a little bait and switch Rubble distraction, but Soulcast has done beautifully this round. It's going to be a difficult spot for Cats. Thoughts on Cats?
Swarm grenade out.
Okay, I don't think Clancy's well.
I'm not against it. I'd just like to see it do something. Now it's just Nats, so
Okay.
don't know if this is going to go well for him. Soulcast has had a bloody round. 4 kills, it was the first
Even at the end there, like, him kind of, it felt like he's like, I'm good enough to hold this angle. Nice confidence there from Soulcast. Hopefully that might be something that Koi can run with. But yeah, I think that Team Liquid are doing a very good job of, like, there is this debate whether Waylay is good or not. And I think that Team Liquid are showing enough here for me to think that they're helping me in my debate that I think he is actually a pretty good agent. Maybe it's not quite as useful as Euro across the board, but I think on certain maps, absolutely fun.
Circumstance can allow. They've got 3 ults here to play with. Oh my god, Camo, you are quick today. Pace is the name of the game, it looks like. Camo, going to be leading the charge, but unaffected by all of this. And no one seems to be aware. A massive gap in the approach there that seems to be well read. And once again, Soulcast is the one to hold this back. Liquid running into a brick wall.
Yeah, it's like they've never seen a Viper Orb before. Just, you know, can we go through this? Can we not? The answer is no, you cannot.
It's not Cats this time. Pats.
It's Pats, yes.
Now, Pats, huge fan of.
I'm not extending this one.
No?
No.
Afraid of...
Yes.
Got
Yep.
it. Presence found from CT, not a big surprise. Oh, big ult though. That could be quite nice. Ah, Filu, Belter. Oh, and a follow-up too, Koi. Just trying to fight back. They're just shooting.
Yeah. A very strange decision from Pats there, using the tail into this round. 2v4. I genuinely am a big fan of the way that generally Team Liquid use the ults, but this round I think was textbook how not to, I think. The early, they were using the early dive from Waylay going into the ult after, but straight through a Viper Orb, and then in a 2v4 using the tail. And now on the other side, Koi are getting their ults up. Killjoy ult, Raze ult, we're close to Fade and Viper. 11-7, there's a few rounds to go, but some ults to play with is good.
Yeah, they've got options here, Koi. I'm a little on board now because it feels like they've reminded themselves that they can just shoot back, which is lovely to see. Filu and Soulcast having a field day. Soulcast towards the top of the board. Filu only just behind. They've got both of their ults ready to play as well. Finance is looking a little bit dreary for Liquid. And, I mean, they've still got Serial's art on the deadlock, but it's not exactly an instigator in the same way you'd look at the others. So, for me, this could be another step in the right direction. 8 rounds is not an impossibility, but first big timeout for Liquid, though, coming in here. First usage as well. So, for them, looking to see what the adjustments are, as there have been some curious decisions being made.
Yeah, curious, yes. And I think in games like this is where Team Liquid should be ironing out some of those mistakes. I want to see the discipline there against the teams that they are expected to beat, because those habits, you know, creep in.
They do.
For, you know, if Team Liquid are going to another global, that they're that caliber of team.
Spot on. I guess we do. I'm still having to get my head into the right mentality. Hold on. There's a little bit of a stall out on this. Going back out now. No. It's been won over. Koi, once again, establishing and putting their authority towards that rubble control. That's been in their hands now more often than not. It's Liquid left to explore the rest of the map now.
Still waiting.
Yeah, and Koi have options here, whether they want to still hold for sites or whether they want to use their ults in the retakes. So the options are all theirs, as long as they don't give away silly frags, basically.
Hopefully they're going to be disciplined about it. You can see the Liquid are very patient in approach, happy to take their time, no particular hurry. Maybe looking for someone to overstep, find an opportunity to get that early pick.
Drone going out.
Looks like it is towards rubble. Everyone kind of congregating back over this way.
Yeah, maybe setting up some kind of B split. They've inserted the 2 players towards the middle of the map.
Don't know if Rubino got spotted here. He's got the chance to be the end of this round, and it looks like he is. Does very well in this, but it will be traded back through. So now we're going to be seeing Liquid somehow tilting this back into their side. Keep in mind, Kiko and Nats only have the sheriffs, but now have the upgrades. Back on the rifles. The site control towards A is in. The pressure from B is there. The post plant could be tasty too with the util. Shados denied. A way forward, held back. He was looking for any sort of avenue in, not to be.
Yeah, deadlock trips in the post as well. Going to be difficult to deal with.
Oh.
Killjoy ult is on the tables for Soulcast, but I don't think there's enough time to maybe warrant using it.
Well,
he is going to go for it though.
Going for it. Shados light on bullets, but hoping for the right time at least. This does clear through towards tree now. Serial going to be forced to go forward. Their patience. Where was the patience there? They had to play forward, sure, but Serial so ready, and Koi looking a little stunned that he went for it.
Yeah, he had to with the way the plant was. I didn't realize it's very safe. So that Killjoy ult would have been amazing if it was able to complete, because there's no way for them to spam back.
No one ready for the swing.
Yeah, I think that round, honestly, Kiko with the... We've been looking at these lurks on B from many different players. Kiko, finally the one to find success with that lurk through.
Saw a couple of ults here. Proactive start, this time prioritizing and furthering
Yep.
from Mount.
Not going to get anything from it, but nice little kind of Ascent Gelato inspired play.
Tech still going to be forging the path at Soulcast on the receiving end of this. They carry on here, a lot of stall coming in.
Yeah,
a lot
boy
of
have a lot of numbers now.
Yeah, they certainly do. But Serial knocking at the door, and he's just come off a brilliant round. What does he do with this one? They're just so close by as well. Oh, fire, where did that come from? Camo's just gone down. That was over towards tree, so yeah, fancying their chances towards the B side, but it's not going to be subtle. Shados should hear all of this.
ults now for Koi though on this retake. The Filu's Raze ult, Shadows Fade ult do come
Oh
into
my
play.
god, Serial's pocket to play in though. Oh! Flyer, very nice. Checks on that. Maybe just feeling something was afoot. Nice try on the jump approach for the trade, but actually the spacing not quite right for Soulcast. But the run and gun works out well. Puntek goes down, and the numbers sit with Koi. Kiko couldn't hear it, but he knows it's happening. Has to go forward. Oh, it's stunning. Shador sees the one to keep it. Koi getting half and him closing it out. Koi are back in this with 8 rounds.
It feels like finally, like Koi in those kind of late round, kind of clutchy kind of situations, finally getting one over.
Oh, he was actually shot through the smoke.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Oh, I thought he'd have a little bit more of a room to play in. Oh, damn. Too thick. Unfortunate. And now the buy, I mean, it's not good, is it, for Liquid? So this could be a little bit of a run back for Koi. They got ults still to play with. They got options. They've got gunners on their side now.
Just whether they feel that pressure of having no, no mistakes able to be made now.
It's true.
Oh, that fade reveal hit. Unlucky there. No Odin spam.
Unskilled. Ow. Oh, Filu. Oh, catches camo. Oh, it's gorgeous from Filu. Beautiful work from him. Confidence builder for sure. Koi, another correct step now.
Warping here.
I think that's Filu's 5th ult of the game. And I think every single one of them
They've been good.
Pretty good.
And it was well timed with everything else as well. It wasn't that just solo effort.
No.
That was really, really lovely to watch.
I think Team Liquid do have another timeout to play with. I'm surprised we don't see one coming in.
Coach Mini would have called the timeout, would he?
I mean, if I heard the calls and I liked what I was hearing, I probably wouldn't, but...
Okay.
Fucking tipple!
To be on the spot.
I called timeouts too late, but it was tactical.
Spiteful.
Spiteful, yeah. Generally, I had a higher... Like, I thought that Boaster was... Yeah, it's fine, it's fine.
Okay. Okay.
Boaster was better than the other IGL usually, so I didn't need to get involved.
Fair enough. Sadly, once again, we have failed the challenge of Mini not mentioning Fnatic in
Yeah.
the cast.
I tried.
It lasted 22 rounds, folks. It's probably
It
the best
felt
we've
a
done
lot
so
longer
far.
than 22 rounds.
Yes, working with me does feel like a lifetime of pain. And so does the Odin.
Yeah. I mean, I like the little bait, like, usually when you see the Odin spamming like this, it's... Oh, no.
Ooh, that was just tailor-made. Filu being escorted out the door.
Just redeemed a
Liquid read that like a book.
Damn, and they even got fire at the same time?
Yeah, Patitech got a timing in to see.
Takes a lot of damage for it, but he's still done so much. And spots out Soulcast here. But he's been big man so far, Soulcast, but he's going to have to respect the utility. Patitech forging the path for the boys forward. Deadlock util on top just to secure him, put him back in his cage. And they've got the plant because of this.
Yeah, tough retake here for Quaid. Not really much to work with at all. A seize and a smoke. And Grobinho is the other side of the map still.
It's one of those happy rotations. The vintage reference that 4 people get, but Soulcast stepping into the ring. It's Camo, gets cleared, but it's Kiko to hold it together, and Nats to sign it, seal it, and deliver it. 13-9, but Koi looking much better than I've seen until this point. Even in the loss, we were asking, what is he competitive? That was competitive.
Yeah, their first maps are usually not this close, so I'm happy that Koi got it this close. I want to see what their preparation was like on split though.
We're going to find that out after the break.
I'm made off the back end. High end with the fashion, now broke's only in a past tense. Yeah, going money fast like, hey. Yeah, my foot up on the gas like, hey. Double pump and bring it back like, hey. Yeah, my amigo got the pack like, hey. Hey, like, hey. Hey, like, hey. Yeah, throwing money fast like, hey. Yeah, my foot up on the gas like, hey.
Wallet in the bank, I'ma check. Whoa, VVS all on my neck. Whoa, we talking power, respect. Got me blowing on gas and I'm high as a jet. Like, whoa, shorty can't breathe no air. Yeah.
Team Liquid are one step closer to making playoffs after that performance on Lotus. I am your hosting, so I'm back here with Uli and Meg. Got a little bit dicey there towards the end, but Liquid, they managed to close it out. And Meg, we heard it from Fader. You could still do a lot of cool ideas with that comp that they showed us. We saw some of that, and I think this might be their new home ground. They just look so good on Lotus.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't as dominant as I was expecting from Team Liquid. I do really like the way that Movistar Koi really brought that defense back. I just think it was a little bit too late, right? And I think you still have to look at the amazing space taken from the Waylay with Camo, how strong they all looked individually, and it was the reads. They seem to just have all the right reads. You know, after that timeout, they expected maybe the adjustment of the Killjoy and the Viper on C, so they just went B, you know, and it felt like they were ready to counter everything that Movistar Koi brought to the table.
And it's been a wall match. I mean, we've seen the first round they were playing always strong into Rubble, Persian making the wall from Deadlock, just holding up and then making fire rotation. But they also, I was predicting the B push from Flyu, also on C. Next round, it was round number 9. They predicted they're gonna move into C. They directly set up that Deadlock into C. It was amazing. I mean, Liquid had all the rates.
Yeah, and
one step ahead.
And they also had a lot of enough rounds on defense, so they didn't have to worry so much with the side switch. But also, Cats Nation were eating good because Kiko, we saw Nats last week reaching 1,500 kills in EMEA, and today with that map, Kiko has hit 1,000 kills here in VCT EMEA. So massive congratulations and shout out to Kiko here. But it was very much his teammate, however, that stole the show here. Meg, you mentioned the Waylay already permanently just slaying left, right, and center. And Camo, he talked about confidence. I think it's even more than confidence right now. I think he's just a fantastic Waylay player.
Yeah, you can definitely see how comfortable he is on this Waylay. And it felt like, you know, we saw Movistar Koi, they started to take that aggression towards A. And the way that they would counter that is like, let's just send the Waylay in and let's counter that and be aggressive back. Let's just hold for a second and then Camo, go shoot, go kill. So yeah, I have to say, we were expecting it. Of course, there are things outside of the sort of match itself that can affect things. Maybe the timeout might have as well. But no, Camo still looked on top form.
It is at the time that we were talking about confidence, about having a win could swap completely team. It happened to Liquid on kickoff. It happened to BBL last year. And Camo definitely did it. I mean, he said it. After some wins, he's confident and he's shining again.
It's a Liquid way though, right? They look a tiny bit shaky on the first match and then they get better and better and better as time goes on. So this duelist head-to-head was so interesting. We had two completely different comps, two completely different ways of playing this game. And this is not the duelist, but like I said, Cats Nation, we're eating good, you know? Even when I want to show you something else, we come back to this. But going back on the duelist here, Uli, on the other side, Filu, who played so much raids before Tier 1, made that debut, and it was good. He is not the reason why they lost.
Obviously, I mean, we've seen him playing properly with this race. He knows how to bring the space. And I can remember him playing on Ukam. I can remember him playing on several Tier 2 teams. And he always had one of the strongest races from Tier 2. So it won't surprise me to see him shining, to playing properly. But obviously, if you are only facing and dropping Filu into try to do, say, Filu, go and kill, is so hard. I don't think that he got a proper support every single round to try to bring him into a proper carry.
And Filu's ults were so strong. No Rosa ults were seen here, everybody. I do think this is as well, maybe, yes, Lotus didn't go Movistar Koi's way this time, but I do think this is something that they can build off for their Lotus in the future. I do think Filu was incredibly strong, and maybe they could start to build around this for future matches.
For me, it's such an important game today, you know? I agree with you. There were definitely some really, really nice things we saw from them, but at this point, Koi just feels so cursed. How many years have we been in the exact same position? Uli, I know you've been in the trenches with Koi, so let's cope a little bit. We are gonna head to Split, where Liquid look really good, but Uli, I need some of that Spanish passion. I need some of that hopium for this team. We got to rally behind them, because if they don't win Split, once again, they're going to be eliminated from playoffs this early on.
I mean, something that proves every single match from Movistar Koi is that they normally start with the first map going slowly, and the second map, they are always close to win. But today, they were close to fight on Lotus.
Ooh.
It means that we are close to win on Split.
So we moved the timeline up.
Yeah,
right?
we move it. We move. Right
up.
now, we're already awake. Everything is great. First round, pistols. Remember it. Koi is winning pistols. Movistar Koi is winning pistols. It's going to be PABA. That means pistol, anti-echo, bonus, and anti-echo. It's done.
Quick maths, quick maths. I have to say, just real quickly on this one before we go into Agent Select, Team Liquid are 2-0 on this so far, and we haven't seen Movistar Koi play this yet, so...
They've become the meta slaves. They have become the meta slaves. What do you make of this?
I got surprised that they're playing meta. I expect them to play a double duelist maybe. Or no, well, actually, Filu as only duelist is the best way to do.
I mean,
maybe Tem.
No changes, right, from Team Liquid, though. And again, I had no expectations for Movistar Koi coming into this. So like you said, Sue, I think it's going to be really interesting that they're playing into that meta here, the Tejo Breach combination. I do really think with them choosing the starting side here, they have to build up momentum. And they have to build up rounds. And I'm not talking about momentum like we've seen from them previously, where they get 5 rounds on the board and then suddenly it falls off. It has to be consistent, continual momentum throughout this map.
And some of you might be thinking, Shadows Breach, he has done this before. This is not totally new for him. But I'm looking forward to seeing how they're going to adapt to this, now playing very, very meta picks, because Pansy and Mini, they ain't got a choice. They have to win here.
Spot on Yunzu. It's do or die time really for Koi here. They have to deliver in this situation, Mini. And this is a good map for Liquid. They have looked strong here. Is this comp change enough in your mind? Do you like this now coming into it?
Comp change?
Well, the adjusted roster coming out from Koi.
Oh, sorry, yeah. We haven't seen Koi on this map, I don't think, so far. So I do like the comp that Koi are running. I think it's the most kind of standard meta approach, but like the best approach, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Some teams are EMEA are kind of leaning into the double dive a little bit more that Team Liquid have on the Raze Yoru side. We see globally, though, the Yoru solo with the Tejo Breach being more popular elsewhere. I like it, though.
Okay, this is a lot of pressure now on the Koi side. And to do this in this map is not going to be easy. But as the desk was saying, that you didn't hear, because Minnie's out there socializing.
You know, hey, I'm a professional.
Well, we'll see. As the desk was saying, though, Koi did look more competitive in that map 1, right? They are building back into this. They've shown signs of life. This is a hard game, though. Koi now going to be on the defending side here, leaving Liquid on the attack.
Yeah, immediately Team Liquid taking middle this early against the Vipers, great sign.
Oh, belting shot as well, Nats.
But not so good on the ramp side.
No, so he's been found, but this crunch scares the life out of me here.
I do like Koi taking this B main space. This is something that we saw, sorry, but Fnatic doing a lot and having success with so far this split. Kind of, you isolate the split, taking this duel.
Serial, he's got so much on his plate, right?
Exactly.
He does go down. Grubino's there to claim it, so that's exceptional for them in that 2v1. It looks like Hiko wants to find an answer back by pushing the extremity here. Nice for him. Does need to overstay his welcome, but he wants to! And maybe that's why. Huge damage now, and Filu has to readjust his course. They know where the other two were initially. They'd seen them over towards main, and that cross is being watched. Camo with a great shot, Flyer with better. It's all down now to, well, a 1v1. Camo up against Flyer, who's low. His HP's only down on 10, and Camo trying to toy with the timing here. The timing is on his side. Liquid, get it started right with the first.
Unfortunate for Koi. I think that Kiko was the reason that Team Liquid was able to push that round over the edge. I liked what I saw from both teams this round, to be honest. I think both had good ideas. We saw the quick reactions from both. So we could be on for a good game.
Enemy remaining.
Fingers crossed. We'll see. Going into this though for Koi, we don't know really the depth of it, right? This is not something we've seen particularly often, so...
Yeah, I think that's the context. Team Liquid are one of the best teams in the world at this map. Not just EMEA, but I think globally.
Yep. So there's tape there, right? There's a lot of tape to be watched. They can prep for this, and Koi get to come in kind of the unknown quantity, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's a slam dunk win. It's still very hard. That's luck did get identified though, which is good. That's part of the checklist, right? You're playing up against Liquid in these scenarios. You're gonna know he's gonna be going walkabouts. This time around, he's gonna have friends coming over though.
Yeah, and Koi already gambling towards the A side of the map, which is good. I wonder what Camo is doing outside B though. Maybe gonna create a little distraction or fake, but there's no one there to bite.
No, so I wonder if Camo rings the alarm bell when he gets out B completely free, and if they continue like this. Spike is with Patatek, and yeah, the alarm bell gets rang. Something feels off. Camo's made it this far with zero pressure back. That's enough of a problem.
Yeah, I call that the Benji Fishy. That's Benji Fishy's
Fucking
heretic to protect. He walks out with a ghost. Boys, they're not here. Come back to me. Or he just kills them all with the ghost. The other half the time.
Yeah, so this should at least facilitate a plant. They've got a lot of security on space here. Camo not only checking quite deep towards CT then, but also now positioning up towards Heaven. 25 seconds, but no issues when it comes to timing. They know the red carpet had been rolled out. It's all good. Plants in. And really for Koi, what are you meant to do now? This is a tricky one. You don't want to give our orbs over. You don't want to make it too easy for them to build up the economy off the back.
I think you go for it. Use salvos and stun. Ultimately, the orbs are going to be transferred either way anyway. Just try and make sure it's not someone too useful.
See who gets the lion's share. For now, they are waiting. This might be on the back of this. Hello, that's a lot of players. Well, he finally found him. Camo was going walkabouts for what felt like a lifetime here, but it's going to get messy up towards Heaven. An opportunity made, and Flyer and Grubino now with a little bit of room to work in. The time is going to be low. I think with the util from Serial, with hopefully Nats and some util, there wouldn't be many opportunities. No, there's not. So I'll give it up towards the clock.
Again, it's those little things from Team Liquid that I'm keeping track of. Not just this game, but over the split. Those little lapses of discipline in those rounds. It could have been like a very clean round. Economy got slightly hit there with the kind of unnecessary over peaks. In this game, it might not matter, but you know, it's almost like poker to some degree. What is the better play? And that was not the better play.
It is interesting because, again, it's always one of those things that only really gets punished in the bigger games to an extent, right? Like, as I said, are Koi going to be able to take that away from you completely? No. Was it a big issue? No. But if you're one of the teams that are probably going forward into internationals, you do have to think bigger scale here, where teams are very dangerous in those anti-ecos, will always min-max results, at least hopefully. But into bonus, it's looking pretty tasty. Only Patatek the one down on the Ghost. Everyone else pretty well geared up. And for Koi, it's everything.
Team Liquid just making a little distraction at middle, keeping the two players there, and then immediately going to be bursting into B. And they've made a great call here because it's quite weak.
Grubino, a lot on his plate here. It's so hard to hold from Pillar. Grubino, does he get out in time? It looks like he has. Found some semblance of safety towards CT. But there's a lot of bodies here quickly for Koi.
Open plant here is big for the post-plant Team Liquid. This site is already quite difficult to retake for Koi. Having that open plant means that there could be relurks coming through.
Sticking around here, though, you can see where Kiko is. You can see where Patatek is. Ooh, little cubby to play from for Kiko. That is lovely. They are stalling him out. Unless they get something fast, they're not going to get anything at all. Kiko going to be forced out of his comfortable position. Nice from Soulcast. Nice from Filu. Perfect until Nats fights back, but Camo gets cleared. The flood was exceptional. The layering of the utility just uncomfortable to hold, forcing them away from these positions. And Koi finding the fight back.
Yeah, in terms of the macro game, I think that Team Liquid completely outplayed Koi that round. But if Koi have a nice little set retake, come in, and it's unsuspected by Team Liquid, then they're going to take that.
Beautiful.
Good job. Exactly like we talked about. Good job, okay?
Maybe had that in
maybe some
mind.
plan, yeah.
Yeah, again though, we've said it, right? Liquid have a lot of tape on them on this map, so if there's any repetition or something that you can identify when you're coming to this game, going through those protocols and being rewarded by it this early on is a huge confidence booster for Koi as well. Tournament life really on the line for them now.
Now, Koi expecting another B main default from Team Liquid, ready with a trap.
Bring them down.
Nothing this round. Back to middle for Team Liquid.
They've already slipped ahead of this one. Camo, let's check towards vent. Spots nothing.
Yeah, it's a little bit concerning that Team Liquid get vents so quickly, but in reaction, Koi already have B main, so it's not like they're just losing space. They are reacting with space of their own.
Looks like it's building towards this A hit. Still some versatility, but they have no one towards B main. It feels almost like too much of an unknown to try and bank into it, and look at the amount of players funneling through these vents. Very much hoping for this A approach. And the extra body here, but can he hold what's coming his way? Yeah, Shados opting against it, gonna give up Heaven Control and maybe try and complement the cross. Does Grubino get to live as well? Another question, a lot of pressure, but they have been able to kind of gap close towards it. Still staying alive here, the C's fantastic, but unconfirmed damage now. Grubino still trying to find anywhere to go. Look at the amount of support coming in here. The util absolutely primed. Soulcast, Flyer, and Filu behind the curve now. Full control in play. And that's his position, the slow lingering death that can creep up. Is there Camo gonna spot them all out? Does Nats fancy a go? Patience is normally the name of the game with him. It's gorgeous from Nats. And that should really be the round sewn up.
Yeah, gonna be a save here. Needs to be. Economy not great for Koi. Again, this round I think that Koi didn't rotate appropriately. I thought with that B main information, the information happening around the middle of the map, I thought they'd be able to get across to A a bit quicker. Maybe they don't get the save off.
Yeah, it is just Soulcast left, and he'd love to keep that Vandal. Don't think they're going to go too far for this, but Nats is considering it. I think Soulcast might be safe. I don't think Patitech can get there in time, no. It should be fine. But still, yeah, kind of talk me through that one.
Yeah, so... Sorry, my mind's gone completely blank.
You were discussing the rotation,
I was going to the
so you were hoping they'd kind of rotate in maybe a particular way, but it felt like...
so Team Liquid opened up the middle, got vents quickly. Koi, in reaction, took B main. And usually when you have B main, you feel a little bit more confident that you could rotate away towards A, because reverse clearing that space is very difficult. Yeah. We saw it the round before, Serial was by himself. But to Team Liquid's credit, those people on site, on the A site, they were utiled out for like what felt like 20 seconds.
Yeah, it was just non-stop. Going into this, the buy for Koi is a little bit weird. Flyer is going to be the one suffering, obviously down on the Stinger. Everyone else kind of at least getting minimum Bulldog flag. Taken again, this looks very similar. Pathing straight through vents. This time around though, you can see that they have the additional, almost, I guess, default hold towards that deep B main space. You still obviously have Nats holding that back A space, and it just feels like the pendulum swing. You're looking at Nats now taking a lot of space on the other side. He's walking up towards A. We've got a battle breaking out towards the mail room. Filu trying to go walkabouts here, and he's been caught. Soulcast that time, very heads up.
Quite ready with 3 people here.
The Flyer banged out by Patitech. A little late on that one. Kiko already ahead of it, and Liquid making it past all the checks, all the hurdles, and just an awkward position for Grubino. I love this ability to be so versatile in attack, having this kind of 1-3-1, playing off those extremities, taking that map space, and then it felt like they lost out on that A because of Soulcast's nice positioning, good timing, and very heads up. They went, cool, we can pivot over towards B. We still have that B main lurk, or that B main at least presence. We're good to go for it. Yeah. Really well done.
Yeah, it's your standard approach to split. And despite the composition having that double dive explosivity if they need it, they're running a more kind of double sentinel approach where you just have the extremities on lock. If you get pressured on middle, you can unlock on the extremities. If the extremities get pressured, you can unlock towards middle. Right now, Team Liquid are taking middle a little bit too easy for my liking. Koi did react with having Filu and vents, but just the Euro and vents alone isn't going to be enough to get through, all the util that Liquid can throw at them. When you got a breach and a tail, you're usually thinking about traps. Like,
yes.
once they get to vents, is there going to be a stun,
like a little
Teo
set piece?
salvo,
Yeah.
something like that? I think that would be my approach. You see Soulcast has the Teo ult online. Well, I can see the Teo ults online. That's the kind of thing you could do. Bait them into the vents, Teo ult across. I don't know if they'll do that on their economy situation. They're a bit low money.
It's an option. But again, it's not like Liquid have reinvented the wheel with this. It's your standardized 1-3-1. It's very well done the way Liquid are doing it. But there's plenty of ways, I don't want to say necessarily counter it, but there's a lot of different ways that you can get around it. Be it fight on the extremity, take one of those spaces away, right? We saw that earlier on with that double stack towards B main, or as you said, little trap piece towards middle. There's plenty of options here for Koi, not probably in this round. So it's kind of keep your minds for one coming up.
They also have to be cognizant that ults are coming online for Team Liquid too. They're not going to go into a slow 1-3-1 default as much and try and take vents early. They'll probably end up prodding out a little bit and then just using ults too.
I feel it thinks he might be in trouble there. There's a lot of players on this side of the map actually. 3. The Koi side. And a battle breaks out. It's Soulcast to find Nats, but quickly traded in. And all the fights so far, waving the banner of Liquid. Heads-up fights. You're not going to win them out with classics, but it feels like get this round out the way. Let's focus on the one we had that timeout for and get ready for it.
Yeah, even min-maxing here, Camo getting the orb. Should get the plant here as well. Ult will be online. Lots of ults for Team Liquid to work with next round.
Which is tough, right, for Koi, because you can, I don't want to say anti what's been happening, but you can have an idea of how you want to approach it, but this then adds a real spanner in the works, because one, Liquid could go completely direct. They could go for a more standard, like, say, okay, let's just go for like a nice A execute, let's whatever you want to do, there's options there. They then have the opportunity now to kind of answer back, right? They don't have to let this be dictated to them by Koi.
I also want to compliment Team Liquid. When they have these ult strats, it's not like they just do the one. Like, you'll see the Yoru B split that everyone loves to do, but they've also do Yoru ults on A. They're capable of faking with their ults. So I like Team Liquid's odds for the rest of this half.
I'm with you. It feels like the operator's been added in as a little bit of a touch here. Surprised to see it over towards the A side, because that's already got 2 other players towards it. I was wondering if maybe they'd want to supplement somewhere else.
I wonder if they got a false sense of security about their retakes on B. Retakes on B, I don't think are that strong. You know, we saw it work well once, but how many times can that work?
Maybe a false sense of security in it, or confidence. And now a patient round. Letting this one simmer for a second. And there's the ult pop. That's going to be towards middle. Camo, for the information, spots out one towards vents and spots out one towards heaven. And it looks like the standardized kind of Yoru approach here. And there's the crunch with the util. Grabuno, can you live? For now, has to fall away. Eyes turn towards heaven. Good information there as well. Very comprehensive. Now, lurk-wise, you're looking at obviously Nats. Post up towards mailroom. That is unforgivable at this point, because it felt like there was some awareness as well from Flyer there, but Soulcast just wanted to come back around. It feels a little bit short-sighted, but they're winning out on the gunfights here. Flyer this time takes away a couple more. Kiko called upon. 1-for-1 trade, not enough, but Camo! 2-for-1 discount in the end. Filu and Grabino punished. Liquid, even when the odds look against them, still come away with the round.
Yeah, and I was critical of Koi playing retake towards this B side, but they do keep coming in with firepower.
Yeah.
But I would argue that Team Liquid there, I don't think Nats should be lurking when he's got a Viper ult.
Fair.
Use that Viper ult for the site when we got the plant down.
Oh man, he was coming over with the ult there as well.
And then also this open plant.
Enemy remaining.
Team Liquid could just play safe and re-lurk later. Don't need to be stuck in mailroom that early.
Yeah. Well, this is where the problems really start to begin. You've got a couple of ults and a bit of a shaky buy, but Liquid are firmly getting in control here, and we have to reiterate, this is a chance for playoffs. This is a lot on the line for Koi. This is everything that they've been going through would have been to make a fight for this one.
This is old school approach to the Viper ult, using it in a space where it doesn't actually get you the site, but puts a ton of pressure on the defense.
Doing anything else at the same time? I mean, we've still got a bit of presence towards A, but super passive. That's going to be Padatek over there. Really passive hold towards middle as well. That's what? Camo? This is, really interesting.
So, like, they want to fake the extremities a little bit, it seems like. But Nats is dropping going out. It's an overcoat.
It feels like it, but this contact hit might have worked, at least for the find on Flyer, but Grabino's able to control... How's he losing that one? I thought that was his every day of the week. This feels really disjointed, but it's actually rewarded Liquid. just kind of contacting in off the back of the drop. The Viper's Pit feels bizarre, but
Weapon here.
just the element of surprise enough. And now Shadows and Zoltan both have ults, but is this the time to use them? Let's see. Camo drifting in no man's land.
Just redeemed posture check.
Yeah, but what is
He's already
this?
close.
They
Ooh.
they thought about that? I don't know. I mean, there was maybe a
CT
Prowler.
posture, I think.
Yeah, that is wild. Serial now. Pressure's on. 1v2. They're already out. They're already on site. Oh my god. I thought they had another one, but no. Koi finally tipping it into their favor after what felt like these retakes were just not going their way.
So I think the approach from Team Liquid there, I think they kind of fumbled what was supposed to be a nice idea, where they used the Viper on B, and then Patty Tech was supposed to make all the noise on A and make it seem like I'm on A, and Nats drops the ult to make it feel like, oh, we're going A.
Yeah.
But it didn't quite work, but then still worked. So, idea okay. Nice retake there from Koi.
Idea okay. Participation.
Idea was decent, execution poor.
Still plenty of ults sat here with Koi. Be it reactionary, they wanted for waiting for that ideal scenario. You can see Soulcast for a couple of rounds was trying to find the right time to use it. First one off the rip is going to be Flyer, so that's going to be straight down middle. We were talking about addressing that mid pressure that Liquid were leaning on quite a lot in those 1-3-1s. Looks like maybe that's a solution here, but Camo, under scrutiny, has to take the get out of jail free card and back away.
I was about to say, we're not really seeing too many of these breach tail kind of crunches or traps, but right there, immediately, reaction, ramp in control of Koi now, by Koi. And Team Liquid, they seem a little bit lost right now. How do they approach? They know that middle, they cannot touch at all, but how do they work out where to go? Where it's going to be weak?
Feels good on this angle as well. It was cleared by Camo, but it felt a little after the fact there. So they've won out on at least the A extremity, so it feels very directed towards B now. So Gravino's going to be prepared.
Cover going out.
Reinvesting and reinforcing the smoke towards B main. Has the help as well. I believe it's Shados on the site, yeah, but that's not to be dissuaded by a Viper's Pit, apparently.
He's found a little corner. He'll take that timing after this beat.
Oh my god. Oh, Gravino, that feels awful. But Shados is there. We noted it earlier. He was in support from the back of Pillar. Stalls out the time.
Though.
Buys a little bit more time. Flyer, the patience, paying off. Takes away Nats now just down to Panitek. And that's just simply too steep of a curve. Koi controlling things. That Viper's Pit being so impactful in controlling that middle space.
Yeah, controlling that middle space, but that re-clear on ramp early to get rid of what Team Liquid were controlling was very good. Liquid looking a little bit disjointed in that mid-round, I'd say.
Let's keep it rolling, keep it rolling.
Economy weak now for Team Liquid. They do have a little bit. But that Outlaw, it does have 2 targets that you can go for that clean kill.
Looks like it was kind of like a half bite-ish anyway. Puts him down to 900, but
that's not
Gravino, what are we up to? The paint shell. Oh, Gravino! The tag was just, it felt like the death sentence, and now the investment of the ult on top. Just, it keeps the site secure for a while. It would be a blind post in the end, but still. Liquid will love this. That's a plant. It's going to take some time, and Soulcast is going to invest. Do we get the pre-take going at the same time? Trying to get that crunch coming in. Liquid trying to stabilize. Hold this down for a second. Camo forced forward. You can see the util here. It's not in sort of complementary positions, though. They've got a decent amount of space now. Kiko spots out 2 here. He's one of the ones with that Phantom.
Buying time for Nats here.
You can see the paranoia down middle. They're already checking on it too. Flyer has a look there, but he doesn't find his target. Nats does find his. And away we go. The pressure now on top. Nats just needs to stay alive, really. He's a nuisance. He's that thorn in the side, and it's lethal as well. Take it down, Soulcast putting Flyer in a very tough position. And it all started with that tag and paint shell. It opened up everything.
Yeah, I was kind of planting the seed of criticism about buying an Outlaw against 3 full shields, but it was enough to chip away and have a... That nade was like perfect. Again, Koi in a retake B situation, and on this map I don't think that's what you want to be leaning into.
Wow. I'm a little surprised they got away with that one almost. That could have been a huge gateway round for Koi to try and keep this scoreline competitive. You know, that 7-5 felt fantastic in map 1, but obviously they only ended on 9 in the end, so you need that buffer here. Liquid are exceedingly good at this map.
Yeah, they're finding these crazy lurks through A all the way around to B as well. You know a team's good at this map if you've done that 3 times, I think, already.
Camo, ult, Filu, ult. Mid-walk, though, for Koi, like this.
Yeah, and Team Liquid don't have a Sentinel, so if they wanted to continue with this, I'm all for it.
Don't know if Flyer hears steps, but enough's been given away. There was no
I
presence
think he
mid.
has, because the stack seems to say so.
Who's next?
Comes in. Flyer. This could be everything. It's great towards Nats. They turn, and he's dealt with. Could have maybe played the time a little longer, been a nuisance from the back lines, kind of like Nats was, but now we find on the side Camo. Devious in approach, a back and forth trade, but it still numbers up for Liquid. They should be able to get partners. Gravino a mile away. Kiko's heard this too.
Great position, open plant.
Step away. Oh, might catch part attack. Yeah, he does. But the trade instantaneous. Liquid very in control here.
Yeah, and it felt Koi were completely in control of that round, knew exactly what Team Liquid were trying to achieve, and you feel really bad on defense. When you know exactly what the attack is trying to do, you've stacked it and you still can't beat them, it feels rough.
Last player standing.
Again, just the trading so good.
Sorry, Patty. I should call for you that he's over.
I think this is a must-win round for Koi.
I'm with you. And close rounds feel great in the moment, but at the end of the day, it's only 3 that have been converted for Koi, and the chance is starting to dwindle, and Liquid looking to lock in here. Focus up. They invest the ults, they get the information, and away they go. Camo, so clean. That time outdone. Shados rolling back the years. Catching 3 on the push-up. Now they got to respond. Kiko and Serial going to be pretty far off from this. Koi, we asked them to dig deep, give us a round to believe in, and maybe they just found one. Flyer, don't do this on your own. Please don't lose this. Oh my god, oh my god! I'm breathing a sigh of relief there. Koi, gonna get up to 4.
4-8. Doable.
Doable. It's not over. It's not over,
Team
Mini.
Liquid great at this map, and I think they'll be more than happy with 8.
And look, qualification in their mind here to playoffs is on the line. This is what they're fighting for, and they have a very solid lead.
One enemy.
Team Liquid sitting on 8 rounds. Solid on the half. Looking comfortable. A couple of pressured rounds from Koi, but overall keeping well above the line here. Looking ready to go. Give me some hope for Koi. Give me a couple of things, a couple of key pieces here, Mini. What would make the difference now for Koi? What would be enough to maybe keep them closing the gap here? I need some hope, Mini. Tell me something. Tell me something.
I need to see some Breach Teo stuff that we've not seen before.
Okay.
Like, that's what we need. We need some explosive XX that Team Liquid cannot handle because their comp is mostly an attack-sided comp. They got the Astra to deal with some of that explosivity with the Gravwell, But overall, they'll struggle a little bit to the explosivity.
So, Soulcast, Shados. Set me up something pretty. Don't want it to look anything other than beautiful for now. Very direct towards A here, though. No taking any detours, no pressure down middle. It's all towards the A side. A little bit of, oh my gosh, this spam.
Damage.
Yeah, Paddy, unconfirmed obviously towards Gravino, but...
Soulcast and Grabinho low this round. Softened up
yeah,
for this retake.
Soulcast. I didn't even see that. 15 HP. How long has he got on the util? I'm not too sure. But again, he's playing very passive, probably just playing for those salvos, if anything. But already the pressure sign him out. The parallel sent towards the pillar. They do need to start building towards the site now. On. Got to go off some of this util. Got to go eventually. Oh, first step. Kicks in the door. Paddytech laying the pathway forward. Kiko, follow-up. Nice. Filo on the fight back. It's Soulcast finally gets his util on. But it's a lot on his plate now. Oh! He's got the util, but he's got to send it now. Timing. Oh, nice try, but again, just off on the timing. A split second away.
Nice attempt from Soulcast, but I think I got to praise Team Liquid for choosing the better site to play retake on, in my opinion. And their retakes on A, whenever I've watched them, they look very confident in them. And same thing there.
Gutting though. Soulcast, it felt like it was so close, but he was just under so much pressure there. Couldn't get past Serial quick enough to send them in. You can see it really close.
Nice Patrick. Very good call.
Team Liquid, they were even... To praise them, I gotta praise them somewhat. They were even re-clearing vents, reverse re-clearing the vents for a lurk. Like, these little details are things that I love to see.
They are the more advanced team, it feels like, in this regard. But this is a big investment here for Koi. Starting to really try and draw on anything they can. Stingers coming out.
If they can get past the grav wells, they'll be in a good spot here.
Zero's going to start ringing the alarm bell, though. Players on the way. He's not alone, but Filo going to take over towards the backside. Look for the drop down in spots one. Zero going to try and readjust towards the front. Really nice readjustment there from him. But now Chaos kicks off. Nats in unison with Kiko, keeping things on their side. Filo left in a 1v2. Filo brings it down to a 1v1. Camel's only got a judge. This is tricky now. 50 seconds.
I got the spike.
Get a plant. Camel opting for the pistol and just like silently closing the gap and a big upgrade. Flash in,
planted.
Falls away, Filu, unawares, gets out of danger, but Camo too, just so quick with it.
Was that sick? Was that, like, did you see the flash? Was that a fake flash? I've never seen that before. He's thrown it towards CT to make it feel like he's retaken from CT. I think that's kind of sick.
Let's watch it again. Is it intentional? Maybe.
You can't see the flash until it pops, right?
I think so.
One enemy remaining.
I'm not sure. I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So what happened? He threw it into CT, and
Yep.
it's not visible until it pops.
Yeah.
And so he's completely outplayed him there.
That's actually cool.
Fake flash.
Very nice. I've just been throwing my pistol all this time. Crazy.
The Heaton?
It's a classic. It is a classic. Literally, it is mostly a classic. For now, double digits for Koi.
That was the round of Koi, and now they're back down to the Ghost Sheriffs.
I mean, you're starting to see the writing on the wall. You can't ignore it. And Kiko starting to hit bangers. Serial again, looking pretty comfortable, even under all of this pressure on Chaos, and they cut off the other two. Shados and Soulcast had to respect the utility that was eventually invested, isolating the players on the side. Serial's comfort just comes into its own here. And now just Soulcast in a 1v5. And that's going to be 11. Chances falling by the wayside. An in-zone flawless here. And Koi, this has got to be heartbreaking for them, but for Liquid, a positive step in the right direction.
Usually for Koi, I would be a fan of this simple B approach against Team Liquid's comp. Quite often it's going to be weak on that B side of the map, but the problem is an Astra can immediately do that grab well, and you've seen,
always there.
I think in both rounds now, the impact of that stall.
Filu's got, I'm just looking at lifelines for Koi here, right? This is the round. If you lose this, you're kind of saying this is done. And this is their chance to even make it to playoffs here. This is everything that they've been playing for in those last games, those losses that Koi suffered. Is this where it starts and ends? Flyer already fallen. Filu trying to backfill the space, but spotted by Kiko. Filu takes the evacuation cord out of there.
surprised we didn't see an acceleration towards B here.
I'll handle this.
But gonna get it for free anyway, potentially, unless Liquid decides to flood in.
Stalled again, though, up from heaven, the util coming in. That's gonna make it difficult. Eagle Eyes trained, and Grabino light work towards Serial this time. But Nat's still with a shot. They're just pulling bodies away, so they're gonna try and be proactive here, Koi.
Yeah, need to do something in this disadvantage situation.
Quite like it. Conceptually solid. The necessity cannot be stressed enough, and Shados can't really fall here. They can't invest their utility. They have to wait, and it has to be everything at this point. A 1-for-1 trade, not enough. Grabino, are you still in this fight? A 2v2, they've won out on the site. They can accelerate towards you, or they can hold him back. Kiko waiting. He's got the ult there, buying time as the defuse comes in. Grabino can only watch as his chances are ripped away. 12 rounds for Team Liquid, setting their sights towards playoffs.
I think it's rounds like that that just show Team Liquid are one of the best on this map. Right out of the gate, you saw them taking that A control, punishing the solo lurk from Flyo, and then more than comfortable to deal with the kind of pre-flood retake.
Nice, yeah.
On the B side of the map. It's gonna need a miracle.
No timeout? I mean, like, don't get me wrong, yeah, I know it's not looking good, but nothing?
If they've got a plan around the tail ult, then they've got a plan around the tail ult. And if the vibes are okay, you'd presume they wouldn't be amazing, but...
I'd be taking a timeout.
Yeah, I'm doing my best.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, but I'm taking a timeout. Mid-ult going to be coming down from Nats there. Viper's pick going to be flooding. Ooh, nice attempt there. Quick trying to catch towards Camo. Patatek also going to be considered. This is information. Thielu walking up ramp. Gets real close to this one. Oh, this could be big for Thielu. Ah, outdone by a Prowler. Bye-bye.
It's the same we saw on the other side. It was the Teo and Breach re-clearing that space. This time it's the Fade and the Raze.
What have you got? Hello. Shados. I know what you're up to, Nats. All too familiar with your ways. But that's a pick. They're at 35 seconds. They still need to decide where to go with this.
Yeah, Team Liquid, they do have two players towards the A side, but they're more than comfortable to play these retakes. They're probably going to have to.
Patatek falling all the way off. Camo, he's up for the challenge. He's again in the fight here. Going to pop the ult just to get away safely, really. Keep control on what's happening now. Plant's going to come down, but we're in a 4v4. Kiko taking the route back through vents. Oh my god, and Flyer going to find Camo. Hold on. But Kiko's got a little bit of timing on this. They're mostly on the site now. Still tough to clear with the player disadvantage. 4 up to the good here for Koi. A chance to survive, to extend play a little. Kiko goes down. Patatek and Serial should be outdone, but maybe not. Patatek in a 1v2. It would be miraculous. And it would be unlikely, but a nice try. But Soulcast keeps hopes alive for Koi now.
Yeah, I think Nat's doing a little bit of troll in the middle. Probably set that one off. I think I think if Team Liquid focus up, take it a little bit more seriously, I think this is going to be fine.
That was a lot of ults from Liquid, wasn't it?
It was, that is true, that is true.
3?
They did overcommit to that 4v5 retake. Your ult used to try and get out. I liked it from Camo, but then the Astra ult used in a disadvantage.
Yeah, it's one of those where it feels like we're being overly critical. They're up 12-5, but still we're holding them to
No, that's true. Yeah, like I did say about that discipline, and using ults in these kind of situations, these are the openings that a team will want to come back into a game. 12-5 is a lot, but...
It is, it is. Oh.
Gets the thing.
Flyer gonna be heads ringing around. Kiko doesn't win that fight. Oh my god. Patatek shouldn't have won that one either. No, Kiko didn't win that fight on the other side. Shados is gonna get his number, so that was the push out towards B, but Patatek, free little upgrade. Sick.
Yeah, Philo just walking through a smoke with no util.
Bring them down. Poison orb emitting.
Okay. Probably a little B split coming in.
Yeah, Patatek did get info outside of A, so and there we go. Confirms it. So going to be able to rotate towards A.
He's got his ult as well.
Team Liquid in a decent-ish position.
Zero's only got the Sheriff, so I guess on contact, pops the ult.
Yeah, and Serial's got 3 stars now. front of this B main.
A bit of a trade out. They're going to run low on time here, though. 30 seconds. And there's
30 seconds
bodies
left.
on the site. I'm getting nervous. That's fine. Again, Zero can take risks here. And Nats gets the reward. Punishing the cross. You'll not be the one to get to. Fire was the one who got the damage early on. Down to 2 HP. This would be heroics. He's got 10 seconds.
10 seconds
He has to face his fate here, as this one looks done for. And it is. Panatech secures it. Team Liquid, 13-5. Playoffs bound, looking locked in. Sadly for Koi, falling short.
Yeah, for Team Liquid, I wonder how they go from here. I presume they're going to be aiming for that #1 seed.
Yeah.
I know that Meg was memeing a little bit about the saving strats, but it'll be interesting to see what approach they take for the rest of the games.
Yeah, I tend to agree because, again, we're starting to see layering to their capabilities, right? It feels like we're seeing a little bit more depth to them. Not flawless, though. There have been a couple of oversteps, but I'm not going to judge them for dropping a round or two.
No.
When they're up like 12-5 here. It's just something, if we're going to be keeping them to the same standard we look at like Fnatic or your Heretics or Vitality in, got to keep them in that lens. But right now they look good. We've seen some very nice looks from here. Koi, I mean, first map felt competitive, Mini, but I mean, Split was always really going to be Liquids.
Yeah, and I think that it's probably going to be back to the drawing table for drawing board for Koi.
Yeah.
Like, they haven't had a win this year.
Yeah, if we're being honest, that's just...
Three rings that makes a panda. Yeah, look, it's 3 separate rings that.
Comfortable.
It is really comfortable. Do you like it? It's cute. I'll find some for your wife. I'll find some for your wife. You know,
Okay.
we can match. We can match. But congratulations today, you guys. We didn't get a chance to speak to you last week, so I'm glad you guys are here now. Playoffs again. This is becoming a regular thing. How exciting, Kiko, is that?
I mean, it's definitely a change from last year, so you know, it's going to be interesting and fun. So I'm happy.
And Nats, I wanted to ask about the Lotus super quick, because how did you guys go from never playing the Lotus to, you know, showing us the clove stuff, and then taking away the clove stuff, coming back with this new look and being incredibly consistent on this Lotus. How have you had the time to make all these adjustments and make it so good? The glow up is crazy.